with the ability to achieve more with less is the challenge. And it means moving from micromanaging to a more strategic role where you work on your business, not just in your business. Third part is to articulate responsibility, accountability and authority. And lastly, the benefits that will accrue if you make that change. If you're interested, please document expectations that you have about the webinar, and Vineet will pass those through to me as we proceed. It certainly supports the process if people have got active questions that we can talk to as we proceed through the webinar. Let me start with a broad picture of organisational life and how organisations go through phases of organisational development, much like we as human beings travel from child to adult. The first stage is somebody or a group of people has an idea and they put a flag up and say, this is my idea to start a business. And the catch cry in that is follow me. It's a very flat organisational structure. Everybody just follows the leader, whoever that might be. And the whole identity of the organisation is to satisfy customers that have been identified as needing what you offer. Typically, if an organisation is successful, it grows out of this pioneering phase and it needs to turn into the next stage, which is what we call differentiation. And the black zigzag is an indication that it can come with conflict. It may happen naturally, but often it's difficult. This second phase, as you can see, sets up a more of a hierarchy. I should mention we use the idea of porcupines as human beings. So that's why there's porcupines in those first two pictures. But the idea being that we're all prickly on the outside, but we're all soft on the inside. And in organisational life, we need to manage those two bits. So in differentiation, we move from follow me in Pioneer to the two of us, which identifies a need to specialise. No longer can the pioneer make all the decisions. They need to start delegating their authority down to department heads or different roles in the organisation. And in that creates a challenge of specialisation and for people to feel empowered to be their best self at work. So differentiation is where most corporate organisations are and have not moved into this next phase, which is what we call federation, which moves away from the two of us, which often becomes us versus them, to a picture of as well as, which means that we need marketing, we need operations, we need finance. They're all critical to success. So how do we work together to deliver success for the organisation? And once again, often moving from differentiation to federation can be a troubled time because it's the pioneer or the leadership group who decide to approach leadership differently, and that leads to a change in the organisation. Sometimes not everybody wants to stay in that new picture. The fourth phase, which organisations tend not to live in, if they're lucky they live in this federation, but integration is about the greater good. And so mostly we're going to be talking about, I think, from pioneer into federation within this session. So if we take those four phases of organisational development, you may have already said we're in pioneering, we're in differentiation, we're in federation. So each of those stages has a development style. So the first style is management by example. That means I am the leader and I'm at the front of this cart and you're all following me. So I'm doing it and you're following me to do it. When we move to differentiation, I move from the start of the cart to the top of the cart, and I tend to take a management by control, and that tends to be the predominant style. If we make the next stage into federation, what I do as the leader is I get off the top with the rails and the reins, and I move to the back with a view of everybody, and I'm guiding the process along. And if we make it to integration, me as the leader, I'm on the periphery, still watching, but there are self-directed teams who know what to do, and everyone has a clear view of what success looks like. So in self-managing teams, we tend to be working in this federation and integration step. So it's a step out of differentiation where it's management by control to another style of leadership, which is also a different level of awareness about the consequences of our behaviour as leaders on our team to keep everybody motivated and engaged.